Come on, spontaneous views. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever y'all at. Car Chronicles. I'm about to get into a topic that we spoke about on our little book club we be doing. I'm just gonna introduce myself again. It's been a while. I do weird stuff like that. Come on, spontaneous views. I'm gonna get into a topic, right? This topic is about the N-word. However you want to say, N-I-G-G-A, N-I-G-G-R. Mainly the topic is, my perspective of, we only been, I think, 2 weeks into a book. Forgive me, I forgot the book name. I'm gonna have to look it up. I could put it in a chat later though, but it's a book that's dealing with the N-word and how it's being used and how we as society like my generation X generation have adopted this word, and where it came from is where I'm trying to kind of bridge the gap. Keep in mind that this clubhouse that we're in is just a group of people that, that grew up in an era that the word nigger, I'm just going to say it just for the sake of the video, was used in a derogatory manner towards them, and they grew up in that era. So I got to respect that. My stance is, it's hard I just don't want no one to blame me for using a word that was normalized in my generation, if that makes any sense. Okay, let me just give a brief introduction of what my research of this word really comes from. The word nigger, we have to understand there were no vowels in our vocabulary. Let's just say, I don't like to say years, because we don't really know when the years are, because we can't really validate the years. We can't go by what someone else has said to us. But again, for the sake of just having some type of timeline, excuse me, I'm just gonna say the past 2,000 to 2,500 years, just to be reasonable. I don't want to say something wild like 5,000 years, because it'll be kind of hard for us to get that kind of, or keep that kind of information and disseminate it to the population. But anyway, this is my take on it. There were no vowels in our vocabulary, so the word nigger really was NGR. To me, this was an ancient Kemetic word that was used. The issue with us trying to decipher this word is because they haven't deciphered, as far as the Medu-Neter, they haven't deciphered no more than 45% of, or 45% of the Medu-Neter has not been deciphered, I should say. Now, that number could have changed over the last time I've heard that number. The point I'm trying to make is, though, NGR was the original word. That word meant a person, a dark copper-colored person. That's it. Along the lines, you had the Moorish community. They adopted the word, but they called it more on the lines of Nigg, and it's not really the Moors. You had the I don't want to even call them Indian. I'd rather just say tribes that was a part of the American society took this word and they call it Nigg, N-I-G-I. So what they did is just they added vowels to it later on. Then what happened was the white man, and I don't even want to say the white man, I'm just going to say the conquerors of this land took that word and they I don't even want to say demonized it. What they did to this word, what word am I looking for? They demoralized it. They made the word. They made the word. I can't think of the what I want to say right now, but they took the word and they made it to where you don't want to deal with it. They wanted to. They didn't want you to vibrate by saying the word, because they knew the power of saying the word. So what they did was the conquerors came in and they took the word and they put ER at the end. So now it's nigger. So now when you look at the white man or any other race saying it, it's more derogatory. I think that's the word I was looking for, more derogatory. They made the word more derogatory towards us, and then we didn't want to use it no more. So now over the time, this went from a word that was ours, then it went from ours, and then it went to something that we didn't want. This is known in history about what conquerors do. They take stuff that was yours, they demify it, like voodoo, they demify it, and then they make it to where they don't want you to practice it no more, not realizing that was your culture. Voodoo, they demonize voodoo. Now when you say something about voodoo, you think it's something spooky. This happened in Louisiana parts of the United States. This was back in the day. This was right at the same time in Africa. That's why it's called the French Quarter. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. Forgive me, I'll go on a rant. But what I'm trying to say is that they demonized the word voodoo. They demonized it. That's what they did. The same thing they did with the word nigger. Now, here we are in modern times. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, because what I really wanted to come from that first topic that I was on was, it'll be hard for me to be emotional. The only way I would show emotion behind that word is if another race says it to me. But if it's me amongst my people, I can't feel a certain way behind that. If that makes any sense. I can't feel a certain way behind my people. I'm talking amongst my people saying that. I can't do that. So, the fast forward now. In my generation, we got this word from music. We got this word from a term of endearment. That's the modern sense of using this word. Now we have to realize that there are people that are still in our society that still views this word as derogatory. And I totally agree with that. I don't take nothing away from that, because I've seen the movies, I've seen what happened when that word is said. Like, I know where it was used in slavery. I understand that. And this is where I'm trying to bridge the gap. I'm going to try to bridge the gap. We have to realize that our generation has found a way to take that word and make it a term of endearment. Make it to where that other societies or other races of people that want to call us that, it's not going to affect us like it did. We have to learn to reverse stuff. We have to reverse it. We have to take stuff kind of like Ebonics. We have a whole dictionary of Ebonics, of how we take words and change it. But that's our culture. The English language is not our culture anyway. So why is it so hard now to think that we as a society, my generation and even my prior and even in the future, why do you think that we can't take this word, take it back from society, the society that demonized it? Excuse me. Take it back and take it for ours. So now if they use it, it doesn't feel that way. We're not going to have that same feeling behind it. Like, this is called evolution to me. This is an evolution to the problem. Like, you wanted to just totally not be said, and it's kind of hard to think in that manner, because ending it with an ER, you already know the black community is not going to talk in that manner. So if you're only left with saying that other races of people are leaving it with ER, you're going to constantly allow them to keep winning, because you have to, like, I'm not saying don't be emotional, But in this modern time that we're in, we can't allow that to affect us now. And this is where I'm really trying to get to. Not really affect us in a way of, I'm not saying affect us in a negative way. I'm saying affect us emotionally to where it doesn't bother us no more. Like, and that's what we did. That's what my generation did. We took the word and we were like, you know what? It doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'm gonna come up. Yo, what's going on? What's going on, my nigga? We're not gonna stab the NGR. The gripe is, oh, well, it doesn't matter if you put an A at the end. You're totally right. I can't knock your opinion behind it. I can't. But you can't knock mine either. That's the irony of the whole thing. I can't knock your opinion and you can't knock my opinion. I'm going to always say, it's no way that you can expect me to be emotional behind other than my race. Of course, if it's outside of my race, yeah, I'm going to have emotion behind that. I'm talking about amongst our people. Why is it a problem? That's what I don't get. Of course, we're not going to say ER. We're not going to say that. Okay, so you know we're going to come, even if it's Nigga, okay? However you want to, you're right. You can change the spelling. It's going to mean the same thing. I get it. But you can't fault me because I mentioned about social engineering. I was like, this is social engineering, and I kind of want to go deep into that, but I can do it here. We already know that it's social engineering in our society. When it comes to anything that's new or trendy, trust me, there was a Council of Foreign Relations. I'm gonna say that one more time for the people in the back. You have a Council of Foreign Relations that sit around every day and they think of ways to try to use social engineering speech to dictate how black people, our black culture moves. Anything that's trendy, like pause, they made that. Where all of a sudden the word pause come from? I don't even want to get on that topic. But what I'm trying to do is letting you know that you have a group of people that sits around and they change stuff. It's social engineering. It's all about, but that social engineering, it's all about how we adapt to it. If we adapt to it in a certain way that benefits us, then let it be. And all I'm saying is, yes, the word nigger with an ER was definitely derogatory. It was, I know it was hurtful. I'm sorry. But it's been a part of my vocabulary damn near since I've been born. And it's no way that I can just all of a sudden just stop saying that word. It's impossible. I can be more thoughtful when I'm in a crowd of people that don't like that word. Yes, of course. I'm not gonna say it then. It's gonna be hard. I gotta watch myself. But I will do that in that manner because I have manners and I still respect people that are older than me. I still respect my elders because I come from that type of cloth. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna conclude like this, you know. And I kind of want to get back to what I was saying earlier. You know, the word, like I said, we have to tap back in, like, again, and I've said this before, if we call ourselves African Americans, we have to, at some point, we have to tap into that African heritage. Even if, and I'm one of the ones that say, a majority of us already been on this land. I'm one of the ones that say it's kind of hard to differentiate who was from Africa and who was already. It's kind of hard to do that. But the point I'm trying to make is I still resonate with that culture because I know it's still ours. When I mean by ours, I'm talking about the copper-colored black culture. That's what I'm talking about. Black people come in all shades and colors. Shades of color, I should say. They come with all shades of color. So it's not just my complexion. You have the light skin. You have the dark. You have the light dark. You have the tan dark. You have the tan. You have the light tan. You got an in-between yellow and tan. You got all these. Come on, man. The word nigger is derogatory, yes. The word nigga is derogatory to some people, yes. But at some point, we have to tap back into our African heritage of words. We have to realize that history, again, they've taken history of what they've found, and they try to understand what they were reading, and they didn't know what the hell they were talking about, and they took something and they looked at this and said, think about it. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Other races are not that creative as black people to take a word and flip it. So that means that had to have been socially engineered in our society. I'm not going to give other races that credit to think that they got the capability to do what I can do when it comes to language, when we the one that created language. So how I'm going to give somebody else the credit? Only thing they can do is copycat. Only thing they can do is take it and try to put it together. English is Greek and Latin put together. That's all it is. They took it from us, and they tried to demoralize the word, demonize the word, make it hurtful to you, knowing it's emotional towards you, against something that we've been repeatedly having in our minds, and it's going to keep being in our DNA. We don't even realize what they're doing. We have to learn to let go. We can't keep letting this stuff permeate our DNA. That's what it's doing. You sit up here upset about a word, and your offspring gonna be upset about the word, and then we gonna talk about it for 20 more years, and then that offspring gonna be upset about the word, and then we're gonna keep repeating the same cycle until we just break the chain. When we gonna break the chain? I'm not saying don't get mad about it, but there's an evolution to everything. And we have to understand that we have to break the chain. I'm not going to sit up here and have my kids saying, no, they can't say this word. I will say it like this. Don't say the word around your elders, which is me included, and don't say it around elders, people that don't like the word. Just don't say it in public. But I already know if you around your homies, y'all chilling, playing a game, I know that's how I grew up. And I can't fault how I grew up. And I'm pretty sure they don't fault my generation. They want us to be more cognitive of how we're saying stuff. And I understand that. And that's what I will do. But to totally eradicate the word from my vocabulary, I'm not going to even sit up here and cap and act like that's going to happen, because it's not. And I'm not saying it in a way to be disrespectful. Yeah, I'll stop saying it around anybody that don't like that word. I don't think I even said it around my parents. Like, you be aware of certain places where you at. You're not going to just be like, yo, what up, my nigga? Come on, man. You know we ain't going to do it like that. My generation, we got enough manners not to do that. But when we chilling at a barbecue, we watching a game, and we doing it up like that, you already know that word gonna fly around. And to me, I'm gonna use it as a positive energy to wake up our ancestors and to wake more people up to do what I'm doing right now. That's what we need. Regardless of how it's coming across, we have to start teaching our people. Nobody can fault me for not doing my job. One quote, and I'm going to end this off right here. One quote I heard, and I always said to myself, Life is too short to be ordinary. We have to evolve. Come on, come on. Come out.